listening to the While We Still Can podcast, where we talk about Missouri news, national news, politics, and whatever's on our mind. I'm Lisa.
Tina.
And we welcome you here. Tonight out the gate, we're going to discuss the situation in Missouri with, today, Tina, we saw in the paper a nice photograph of our governor signing this bill eliminating DEI in Missouri, at least Missouri state offices. And he was surrounded by a very homogeneous group of people.
Hey, they had one girl in there.
Yeah, a bunch of white dudes and one white lady.
It was very Caucasian at the
Very
time.
Caucasian photograph. And it's a good time to revisit the fact that DEI, DEI has saved us from having people hire out of habit, out of all the things that are too big for us to talk about that have been factors in the past. Instead of someone hiring a mediocre white dude, they would hire a more qualified person, perhaps of color, a person that was a female. So having that talent in our talent pool really helped everybody. And somehow along the way, we got the idea that we were pushing down the white folks in order to favor other people. But really, we were just like giving them a fair shot they should have had to begin with. Okay, and that includes females across the board. So we've all benefited to some degree by having that talent in our life, and the governor just signed it away.
I forgot that, he's really like a fucking a used car salesperson. Isn't that what he originally did? Mike Kehoe Ford?
I do believe he was an auto dealer, yes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Shiesty car dealer.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the car dealership business, but
I just feel
feel
guy
like
from Matilda.
I feel like this act hasn't done anything for our society. So, I was reading a book a while back, and it talked about colleges that strictly go off merit. I think the one they were talking about was Stanford, but please don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and double check and make sure. But the college they were talking about strictly on merit, and guess what? Well over half their students were Asian. So if you think there's I'm going to use this term, and I hope it's not, I don't mean it in a derogatory way in any way, shape, or form, but the term tiger mom, that's the moms that are all over their kids to succeed and have them in 800 different activities and demand excellence. And, those moms are out there raising their kids to be really, really, really stellar students. And, if you want your kid to compete with that and us walk away with only merit, good luck. Good luck to you.
The mediocre white dudes will suffer.
Yeah.
But
maybe you can find
trash. It's just trash.
Yeah.
He has daughters. What are you doing?
They don't care. They don't care about their own daughter. They don't care.
I know. I keep forgetting that.
And out the gate today, I also want to talk about another thing that we talk about sometimes that's on my nerves again. And that is...
Tell us.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing of any given politician talk about how if they do the right thing, that they probably won't get reelected. Oh, boo-hoo. You know what? I don't care. I couldn't care less if you get reelected. Your whole job is to represent your district and represent the well-being of what's going on with the people you are there that hired you. Okay.
You did an oath. You swore an oath.
And so to say, well, I might not be able to get reelected, we don't care. Go do your job, do it properly. And if you don't get reelected, then you can go back and do what you were doing before. But what you can't do is, for the sake of you and yourself alone, do the wrong thing just to get elected over and over and over again so what you can enrich yourself with the system.
Yeah.
That's not why we elected you to go there. So if you think that you're doing the wrong thing, don't do that. Do the right thing. And if you don't get reelected, good for you. I'm proud of you. You stood up for what was right. Gosh,
they
dang
lose their pride at some point. Who are you talking about in particular?
No, I don't know.
Oh, or just all of them?
Well, I think I read in the paper about how Elon Musk is threatening to primary everybody just to throw so much money into the primaries that nobody has a chance.
Well, apparently he has. Did you read that? A botched wee implant.
Oh, allegedly.
And
I don't want to know anything about that.
I know, but like it would actually make so much sense. For one, that he's like shooting so many rockets and they keep fucking up, right? And why he's so angry.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Could it be that simple? Can some urologist just step up and fix that shit and save us all the trouble?
Well, like how? Okay, so like,
allegedly,
is this all like? I mean, could it be like a itty bitty like mentality, like have to world dominate, like big balls on the back of your truck, but instead huge rockets and richest guy in the world take over governments and shit?
This is where we are now, Tina.
Hey, I thought we were gonna have fun, lighten it up.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about Missouri farmers.
Woo!
Which is near and dear to my heart.
Get it away! Get it away! I'm so glad you caught it. There was a mouse.
Oh.
He got it in the cup.
Wow.
But it's alive. You're gonna put it outside? Sound like he's going outside.
You can think that.
Yeah. That's fine.
Don't think about it too much.
I know. Hey, save that. We might have to eat it soon. What was I talking about?
We were talking about Missouri farmers.
Oh, the farmers fucking around, finding out. Not
so
all of them.
What's happening
that was right.
is that, some of the programs that Missouri farmers participate in for good reason to so we can do some good things and it's a win-win situation. They get assisted with offset some costs and, anyway, I'm not verbalizing this well, but now that some of the stuff has been frozen, they're in kind of a pickle here. So here's a paragraph from an article by Allison Winter from the Missouri Independent. And it says, in the body of the text, I'm skipping ahead here. It says, we continue to hear from family farmers and ranchers about the federal funding freeze, which has created significant uncertainty, said Rob LaRue, who's the president of the National Farmers Union, an advocacy group that represents 220,000 farmers and ranchers in 33 states. He goes on to say, the interruption in funding raises concerns about whether USDA will reimburse already obligated funds to farmers who have existing agreements with the department. And the lack of clarity is leaving state and local agencies and partner organizations struggling to interpret and implement federal programs, while farmers are left wondering if they can rely on these programs as they make critical business decisions for the year ahead. So yeah, this is hitting home, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. And, we've talked about Mr. Westmoreland, who's a gentleman that's on social media and has been bringing some attention to this issue. And, he's just a guy that's been trying to communicate to folks the reality versus the propaganda here. And, he says, I love the statement that he says. He says, you don't have to admit you're wrong.
You just have to admit you were lied to.
Just admit you were lied to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm paraphrasing. But yeah.
You don't have to say you were wrong, but you have to. Yeah. But you can say that you were lied to.
Maybe people are starting to realize they've been had.
Well, yeah. I mean, these are like grandma and grandpa's old like family farms. Like that's a lot of that USAID funding. So it's just not very cool.
Like we always talk about, follow the money, right? So who this really benefits is the giant ag corporations, that are
gonna gobble. They
gobble, yeah. Like a waka waka waka.
Oh God, don't Pac-Man. Ever. Yeah. Oh my God. You know what? I just want to reiterate that Musk is an unelected, unconfirmed private citizen with access to classified information.
That ain't right.
No. And he also is running several companies that directly profit from said government contracts.
Yep.
That's called corruption. I'm just going to say it. That's what that's called. And then he's literally tweeting, I found a casual $6 trillion, and people are like, see, he found it. And I was like, no, he tweeted. You can do that. You can write the same thing if you want.
Yeah. You sure can.
You guys, like, I know it's like you don't have to admit you were wrong, but you can admit that you were lied to. Okay, we're gonna just practice. It's kind of like we listen and we don't go back to that. Judge. Okay. Also, this guy's shisty as hell. So Europe is also like investigating X, and their courts are like demanding internal algorithm documents and shit. So he bought Twitter to fuck with shit.
Well, yeah, of course he did.
But like,
of course he did.
And people are like, no, this rich guy's really fucking helping us. He's like coming in for free and doing it with his botched thing.
Guess what? Rich guys don't do anything for free. That's not how they got rich.
No, I know. It's like, guys, what? It's like a stripper liking you. Come on. I can't. Okay, what else? What else is dumb? Cash Patel's probably going to get through. He hasn't yet, but I'm just going to say it, and maybe it won't happen, but we're all going to die. And then Trump just fucking betrayed Ukraine, and it broke my heart today, even though I knew it was coming.
Are we surprised, though? We knew this was coming.
No, I'm not. But
he's going to betray anybody but himself.
He literally went to Saudi Arabia to meet with Putin to end the war in Ukraine. That he has what? Like Ukraine wasn't there. Like you weren't invited to this party. What is happening? And the deal was terrible. Like it literally gave Russia every single thing it wanted. And then
meanwhile,
from
Reuters. Reuters says that France calls a second urgent meeting of the EU leaders in 3 days to discuss security issues in Ukraine and Europe. They're trying to figure out what the heck to do.
Yeah, I know.
Among the invited countries are Norway, Canada, the Baltics, the Czech, Greece, Finland, Romania, Sweden, and Belgium.
The hell? Marco Rubio, did you see the picture of him? He looked like his soul had like got sucked out of his body. Like, you pussy.
Yeah, which reminds me, I don't know if y'all have read the Deathly Hallows in the Harry Potter series, but we're like living in that part of the book where like the Dementors are roaming free and the ministries are getting taken over one after the next, and guys like Ron's dad, who's like an everyday federal employee, gets fired. We're like literally living the book. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, did you see that they fired 1,000 VA hospital employees, including the Veteran Suicide Crisis Hotline for the people that fought for our freedom?
Yeah, is that what these folks want? Is like, we're gonna save a few bucks by ending the suicide hotline for veterans, but you're going to give another tax break to Elon Musk or give him some sweet, contracting deal.
Did you read earlier about SpaceX and Tesla are taking over the FAA and the DOD? So the direct contract, like what?
Do you mean like did he install people from that formerly formerly worked at those companies to those agencies?
Well, I think that they're collaborating. So
okay, so
just make more enriching himself. Have you seen what his rockets do and his Cybertrucks?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on all that. I mean,
you love your car. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we don't
the engineering behind it's great. It's great, and they don't. Like, I have to say, I'm not here to stand any person or anything, because I can't stand the guy. I can't stand Elon Musk anymore. But, the cars do not, like, engulf in flames any more frequently than other cars. They're like a gas engine car, an internal combustion engine car. They just don't, statistically. I think is the Cybertruck super ugly? Yes. Would I ever drive one? Absolutely not. The engineers at SpaceX, they're landing reusable rockets on like a small little, basically a tiny little raft in the ocean. That's amazing. I think we should give them credit for that. The thing is just let's not be corrupt about the contracts, right? We can do both things. We can say on one hand, yes, that engineering is amazing, and if you're going to succeed at launching rockets, some of them are going to blow up. That's just the way it goes. But can we not like totally sacrifice our democracy so that this guy can get contracts? We can have it both ways. I don't want anybody doing the FAA. Like,
Besides,
they don't, that's not what they do.
For the FAA.
They like, these are engineers that build spacecraft.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
That's not their jam.
Why are they doing it? Why are they taking over that agency? You don't know?
I don't know. I assume it's just control. He just thinks that he can run everything like a business. But that's not how it works.
I mean, he's not a very good fucking businessman. Neither of them are. How many bankruptcies is Trump?
Well, again, and he's at this point, he's like a movie supervillain. However, that said, like, he has or had a personality that could get his employees in his startups to do just phenomenal things. He could motivate people to sleep on their floor and work gazillion hours a week. And, you can argue on the other hand, is that healthy? No. But they created amazing things, And so I think the mentality that makes that a successful startup, it sure as hell doesn't transition over to the government, because that's not how the government works. But it also is more difficult when you get into a bigger company with different issues. That's so different than just a smaller startup. So again, there was, how I talk about how like Donald Trump has no redeeming qualities. I can't think of a single thing that humanity is better off for this man being alive. Not a single thing. But pre-supervillain Elon Musk actually did some stuff that, might benefit humanity. If he hadn't turned into a supervillain, maybe we would be continuing on the path of a society that uses renewable energy. Because cars were a big part of that. Cars and, Tesla started making a house shingle, a solar shingle. That would be super cool if we all had a solar shingle, we could power our homes. I've had like people that farm ask me, and it's a very good question. They'd say, Lisa, let's say we had all electric tractors and equipment and everything, and we all came in from farming at the end of the day, and we all had to plug our shit in. How in the world is that realistic to draw all that power off the system? And my answer to that is not. It's not the way it is now. But like, if you came home with your stuff to a charged, humongous battery that had been absorbing solar power most of the days, then you can probably plug your stuff in and get them more than powered for the next day, And if you can't, maybe you draw some off the system, off the grid then. But we can't do that all at once. You have to take some incremental steps. And so what Tesla did is they did it backwards as to what had normally been done. Instead of trying to make a cheap vehicle that everybody could afford, they did the opposite. He made a race car. He made like a roadster that was super cool and expensive. And, the people that had one it was like the ultimate toy, right? And then they made the Model S, which is a pretty sedan, and it's still overpriced. It was expensive. But each step of the way, those investments in the vehicles and the company paid for the next step. Okay, then came the 3, then came the Y, or the X was in there too. But my point is that like Elon Musk has taken a dark path, but there was a time when I feel like maybe he had some good intentions or did have some redeeming qualities. And now here we are. Yeah.
So like seemed normal, but after that it like went downhill, and then I saw Twitter and I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
And now he's doing special salutes.
Oh my God. And then he did this whole flag thing, which I don't understand, is apparently
the 14
some
flags.
Yeah, so that's some white supremacist thing. Is that right?
Why? Like, you are not cool. Gross. Well,
thanks for listening to my
Lisa was on one. Yeah, girl, get it.
My Tesla rant. It just that whole concept had the capacity to bring so much joy to people.
Well, remember when he said
ruined.
He was gonna, he like tweeted, I think. He was like, I could solve world hunger. I'll solve world hunger right now. And UNICEF was like, we'll have you a proposal by tomorrow. And then like it was $6 billion or something. And he's like, oh, actually, no, I can't.
Never mind. Yeah. All right. Well, we will be back soon talking about more stuff. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you so much.
And it might literally be
yeah.
while we still can. I'm just going to...
I know. That's our title is looking more and more ominous, man.
The Gulag work will set you free.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll be back in your ears soon. I'm Lisa.
I'm Tina.
Good night, friends.
Bye.